Oh, it's brushing my nose. Hello. It's Sarah. My nose is still itchy. I didn't plan this very well, I'm sorry. um, so I'm doing another vlog, as you may have noticed. Uh, Yesterday I was at the VA hospital because it had been 2 weeks from when I had my orchiectomy surgery, and um, I had to see endocrinology first. Um, I had some directions from them following the appointment about cutting out some meds, so as soon as the testosterone factories were gone, we stopped having me take the anti-androgens, the testosterone-reducing um, drugs, because there's no testosterone to reduce anymore, um, and cutting the estradiol dose down. And the endocrinologist that I saw, who I think was one of the residents, it wasn't the actual like doctor of that department, the head um, endocrinologist physician, who I was scheduled to see. Um, and the resident said that their guidelines for post-orchiectomy um, trans women, trans patients, is 1/2 milligram to 1 milligram of estradiol um, per day. And I really wanted to have an in-depth conversation with the doctor about it, and she wasn't there. And the resident seemed very knowledgeable and reasonable about it, and I was talking about my concern about feeling like, from everything that I've read as a non-endocrinologist, um, that I should be shooting for slightly elevated estrogen levels for a period of like 5 or 6 years in order to have a sort of complete like pubescence um, at 40. uh, and I was hoping to be somewhere closer to like 2 milligrams a day. Um, and so we haggled basically, and she said, I'll go up to 1.25, which is above the high end of their guidelines. And she said she was working with, it's like endocrinologist society guidelines or something like that. So I definitely have appreciated, I haven't felt like I was being really talked down to at any point with any of the endocrinology staff at the VA. It felt like she was taking my points and my questions and my concerns and where I'm at with my understanding of it all seriously, and just not being condescending or like treating me like I was too stupid to know what I was talking about or anything. So she said that these things take a while to balance out, um, because I was suggesting why don't I take whatever amount, the 1.25 or whatever we're working with, and then have me come back in a couple weeks and do a blood screen and see where I'm at, and just try to adjust things so that I'm at a slightly elevated blood estrogen level, but not insanely high. And she said, well, let's go ahead and do at 1.25. So now my daily HRT meds are down from 3 pills to, it would be 1 pill, but they don't make a 1.25 milligram pill. So it's a pill and then a half a pill. So I still have to cut something. But she said, let's do that for a few months. So I'm going to go back at the end of April, or beginning of May, I think it's end of April, and hopefully again see the head endocrinologist and talk with her about it and have done a blood screen, and talk to her about my intent and my goals, and also make sure we're both on board with where we are as far as safety. Because from the beginning of all this with endocrinology, I've told them that I want as much progress in terms of body development and all of that as possible, but that when I say as possible, that I include safety in that, you know. So that's the plan going forward for endocrinology. And then while I was there, because I had this long gap before I went to see my therapist, I popped over to urology to talk to them about. That's Monsieur Descartes. That's not why I talked to them. To talk to them about pain problem, because I had run out of the opioids, the oxycodone. after they prescribed about a 1-week course following surgery, and that ended up being not enough for me. So I went to ask them about more, and they got me in to see a resident. They just squeezed me in as a walk-in, which is completely crazy, and I can't believe that I got away with that, but I did. And he asked me to describe my pain experience and all of that, and was like, okay, we'll send you home with some more. And they prescribed a little bit less than I had been sent home with initially, but I think it will be plenty, because the pain has really dropped off in frequency and in duration just in the last like 48 hours maybe. It was also really reassuring because he checked the surgery site, which is something that I have an appointment for in about 2 or 3 weeks, which is the normal follow-up period. But while I was there, he was like, I can take a look and see how everything is doing and make sure that your pain is not because of some kind of problem with the way it's healing. And he was really superlative about it once he was taking a look, and he was like, this is fantastic, or this is coming along great, something that was like, I very much got the sense that this is healing optimally, that it's healing up as well and as fast as it can in terms of, what you can see from the outside. So that was really reassuring. That actually helped a lot. I think that actually made a dent in my pain because I wasn't worried anymore about that. That I had been sort of subconsciously in the back of my head wondering, like, is this just not going well? Oh my goodness. There's nothing out there. I don't know what he's doing. So that was the update. I've tried doing a couple drafts of this vlog and then stopping and restarting because I don't, I like putting out nicely produced, edited videos that are, like with professional or better than this lighting and maybe the makeup and a nice outfit and not, a pajama top, and maybe I would actually shave and things like that too. But one of the goals that I have for the vlogging and my public sort of presence in general is to have it feel less like I've created a show for you and more like we're just hanging out. And so this would be, if you asked me what I did Friday, that's what I did. So this is me at the 2-week mark, more or less, after a pretty major but relatively simple surgery. It seems like it's coming along as well as it can be. So I should be back in another week with another post-surgery update. Hopefully it won't be too long before I'm able to say I am totally pain-free and dressing normally again and all of that. But we'll see. So that's all. Stay safe.